The plot of the story develops in the theme of youthful romantic relationships and unfolds a chain of events from the real life of the nostalgic 1970s. You Made My Day covers two milestone decades of the past century, from the late 70s to 2000s. It symbolically juxtaposes the tough wave of changes with the hero's controversial journey urging him to reconsider his moral and spiritual values to survive. The book meticulously researches the relationships that theoretically proceed as the plot develops on the background of two culturally diverse platforms, two politically confronted locales, and two socially alienated societies. You Made My Day is structured as duology in two sequential parts, or I would say books. The first book, Freudian Sleep, is where Mike Malone, the protagonist, is forced to break away from his native stomping ground. The second one, on the other side of the fence, is where he faces a challenge of starting from scratch and braves consequential adventurous twists and turns. Due to his light-hearted mindset, a rash mistake entraps a young and inexperienced Mike into amorous intrigue, turning his life upside down and compelling him to leave his country. While starting over, Mike remains burdened by the recollections of the past that pose metamorphic obstacles painful to overcome. A strong attachment to Dementi, his grandfather who raised and mentored him, a lustful affair with obsessive adult mistress, Helen Harold, who, with her family, insidiously conspired to possess him, and a sincere affinity with his disabled staunch friend, Tina Spaulding, who covertly cherished her ancestral love of him. Overseas, a clean canvas begins to fill with collages of colorful portraits of a flamboyant stripper, Ingrid Berg, and an amicable Jalen driver, Gigi, Greg Gordon, whose exceptional fidelity fosters Mark's headway from the ground up and his penetration of Diane McAllister's multi-million-dollar empire. When Mike Malone, an already established entertainer, by a twist of fate, comes across a best-selling book that mirrors his 15-year-old story, Mike's life reverses to a quest to find author, Tina Spaulding, whose love endured is the only genuine legacy worth his commitment to embark on crucial changeovers, in which two mobster brothers, your Gill brothers, Alex and Vasco's loyalty, helps Mike break free from Diane's constraints and expedited the reunification with Tina in Eastern Europe. However, the wheel of fortune doesn't stop on the happy end and keeps spinning, landing the wedge on puzzles. Mike and Tina have to pay a price to solve and leave bygones behind. The lust for passionate relationships has been significant and essential for the human race from times immemorial, not only to procreate but also to refine this process. Take tales from the Bible, biographies of Roman emperors, or legends from Greek mythology. There are too many examples to name. Frankly speaking, I'm an adherent of Freudian concepts on the one hand, but I do not deny Platonic theories on the other. I want to show how hard it is and how much sacrifice it takes to live in a harmonious ideal while finding and keeping the balance between physical and spiritual values. And I think common sense is more likely to be the clue. When it comes to high relationships, there is no other artful resource than dramatization to push your imagination to the limits. A trick in writing a cinematography that lets readers be involved and induce adequate human reactions. I've met my hero prototypes throughout my life, but none fully fit the hero criteria. I've given my heroes more opportunities and armed them with more talents to add, as I would have wished them to if I'd had a chance to go back into the past. You Make My Day is predominantly for the young adult reader. It depicts the baby boomer epoch, a generation that crossed the millennium tie line, staying free from the smothering artificial intelligence and gadget money, and loyal to the values of the 20th century. On the other hand, the elderly reader also would scarcely deny a chance to share a sensation from a nostalgic time travel, as the style of the total book offer. I recall times when, in the 1970s, Eric Siegel's love story turned into an iconic novel for all ages, ranging from teenagers to seniors. I was born to a beautiful middle class married couple and raised predominantly by my grandfather, who played a crucial role in my upbringing. As one of the baby boomers, I witnessed the turbulent era of the 1870s and revolutionary 80s. A grueling epochal journey from the first tube TV to cutting-edge computer technology, from the first stereo LP player to sophisticated digital systems. The generation I represent was much less dependent on technological progress than today. The artificial intelligence prompts sought through the mentality of the modern generation deep enough to dictate the lifestyle structure and frames and control the vital ability for decision making. It penetrates all spheres of social interaction, be it politics or healthcare, the family moral values, I don't know, or business ethical norms. On the other hand, it makes our life burden easier to bear. But on the other, it deprives us of the ability to rely on our own prudence and sensitivity. With the baby boomers, we're capable of exerting enough efforts to change the world, which we did, thanks to our unbreakable rebelliousness, sensitive approach, and multilateral intellection. Unfortunately, artificial intelligence today devours all these benefits handed down by historically proven cultural propositions. I just want to remind you that self-establishment as the primary goal for the young to survive is impossible by having only the top of the line gadget in your hand, which is just a tool. And to use it effectively, you need to have the ability of both rational thinking and intuitive guessing. I can't say I've been building my writing career cautiously, except for the hollow wish I had. My youthful adventurous lust urged me to overcome unforeseen problems on the go, leaving less time and energy to advance in one direction. I began to teach worldwide because traveling according well with my cheerful. I began playwriting and succeeded in directing some plays on the stage because I had a special passion for theater. I began screenplay writing because my son chose to pursue his career in cinematography. However, it is not the complete list of endeavors I have undertaken until I settled down in my 60s, only to hear from my adult kids that I have stuck in the nostalgic 70s and 80s of the past century. Maybe it's true, and for the better, as there is no substitute for the experience, which blended with skills and little gift from above makes a novelist. Well, you can have a closer insight from our website with excerpts from the book, description of heroes, sequence of events, answers to most frequently asked questions, my bio information, and all other related information should you be interested in. Let's visit my site. Thank you.